More Dingus 2 starts now. As you access the interface, it melds with Rosetta. Rojan's words form in your mind. This is all that is needed to align with the final Strangelet. There is a brief pause. Calculations are run in Cypher drafted. The altar hums along. The gorge can be accessed. Be wary, anomaly blessed. The automatons that attack Kepler have made the gorge their home. Orin, saying that the anomaly has already departed to face them. Together you will prevail.
Orin, that you?
Yes. There. And here. I was expecting Ikora's tone.
Right, I'm patching her in. Look, we left off on the wrong foot. And I know right before you run off with the Guardian to stomp Vex into dust ain't the best time. But I'm sick of counting seconds not taken for words that should have been said. Someday soon I'd like to clear the air.
I think I interrupted the voice line. Looks like a new side quest is available too. I can never remember if travel interrupts dialogue or not. There it is.
I think the Vex seek the Nine through a trace of their influence. Their operation is coiled wires, but with the Guardian, we can cut through. When they pushed out the house, they claimed a capsule of quantum threads. If we want to know why we were brought here, we need it.
Okay, I'm sure I'm gonna need those maths at some point. Of gold. Yeah, Orin's pretty great.
You know, it's hard to grok that those voices are planets, or attached to planets. Orin, it's a two-way line to the Nine, right?
It is, if it's Daisy's. What do you want to ask?
I want to know why they abducted me.
That is a very good question.
Yeah, I think doing the side quests in tandem are honestly the way to do this because they just add context. Since he's confused about Blues from the 80s, yeah, that totally flashed by me actually. That's actually really funny. Don't mind me. It's just Apex. Damn. Well, I need to get in there. Stop with the storage cannon. Is there a pipe somewhere in here? See a door that you could shoot a gravity gun through. I think what's blast black pretty much. roundabout way to get where I'm going, but I'll take it.
You'll sense your connection to them as a guitar string. Feel for it, then pluck. A loud A. Whoever is closest will answer.
They're ultraviolet. I can do this. It's just saying hello. Here we go.
Emissary, you are just as rare as me. Once in a half-life. And look, you found the quitter.
Whichever of the 9 you are, I want to know what you want with me. Why did you take me from everything?
A rude question. One worth entertaining.
Noticing punctuation and vertical lines. I don't remember what they're called.
You are called to serve.
Cool. That was a thing. Oh, interesting. Stream on the internet? I have no idea. Can you not? Wait, what the fuck? How is he not dead? Took an entire rock to the face. Son of a bitch. It's hiding up there like some kind of fucking mech from Sonic Adventure 2. Saw that. Why are you locked? Is there a thing I need to hit? Well, there's the height map. Alright, well, we'll go around from the other side, I guess. Back to Caldera.
Orin, that you?
Yes. There. And here. I was expecting Ikora's tone.
Right, I'm patching her in. Look,
Interesting that this voice line is replaying.
and I know right before you run off with the Guardian to stomp Vex into dust ain't the best time. But I'm sick of counting seconds not taken for words that should have been said. Someday soon I'd like to clear the air. Just watch your back out there. House's Archon's still at large. There's trouble brewing, and I think you're in the middle of it.
Where we need to be. I think the Vex seek the Nine through a trace of their influence. Their operation is coiled wires, but with the Guardian, we can cut through. When they pushed out the house, they claimed a capsule of quantum threads. If we want to know why we were brought here, we need it.
I don't know why that voice line replayed. Maybe it's because I'm on the same quest. The same quest step. And traveled? I don't know. Alright, I see it. There's a vent there. That just brings me deeper into the complex. Wait, where did that go? What? I heard it turn on. I don't see whatever the hell that is. I don't think I require that. Well, it looks like the vent comes out of there. Oh, maybe. That's cool, actually. Nope, nothing here. Matter spark in the outdoor area to get it. I don't think I even saw one of the pods around. Oh, I think I see what's going on. I was thinking of the wrong buff. That's actually rather unfortunate. Resource spawn? Or fortunate, depending on your point of view. Well, that wasn't it. Interesting. No, there's nothing here. Thought maybe there was a way up. No, that's just a shadow. So those aren't it. That leads in here. Nah, that's not it. Let's see. Again. Real hole to enter in the rocks. I'm assuming it's going to be down under. Oh, now it points it out. Never would have seen that. Thank you. We didn't even get a voice line for that one. Okay. Fair enough, I guess. Gotta go all the way to the gorge. Okay. Each step in the quest, I guess.
Oren, that you?
Yes. There. And here. I was expecting
We're getting
my
the same
chorus
voice
to-
line again. Why? What is the trigger for this? Is this a bug?
We left off on the wrong foot.
Is this extra
I know
emphasis?
Right before you run off with the Guardian to stomp Vex into dust ain't the best time. But I'm sick of counting seconds not taken for words that should have been said. Someday soon I'd like to clear the air. Just watch your back out there. House's Archon's still at large. There's trouble brewing, and I think you're in the middle of it.
Where we need to be. I think
Kind of wild that we already
Vex
dealt with
seek the
Archon
nine.
once with the boss fight, but he kind of just got relegated to
Their
background.
operation is coiled wires, but with the Guardian, we can cut through. When they pushed out the house, they claimed a capsule of quantum threads. If we want to know why we were brought here, we need it.
Ball. Ball. Give me ball.
Explain.
That was oddly
They're playing.
in the open.
You can cut off the connection right now.
Look who's jealous. Feeling fleshy? Do you miss being taller than your tower?
It wasn't worth bear traps.
Oh dear. It only speaks nonsense. Primitive synapses. So easily breakable. Can you even remember which one I am?
That was pretty funny. I like that. That was a pretty good one. All right. Well, go for the next one. Yep, it's through that conflux. Let's revisit that conflux. Blocked by story progression. That'd be wild. What is with the event? Like, because I was thinking about this. I'm like, this is the new area. Am I actually going to be story locked? And I'm like, no, clearly not. Because they would be giving me the side quest at relevant intervals. Why give me the side quest if I can't even clear the side quest? But then again, the counter to that counter is we're effectively in the third act. Like, we're in the back probably, what, 15% of the story? At what point would they reasonably introduce this? Like, I'm sitting here, I'm just trying to think of, like, how you structure this. And I don't know if there's a valid criticism there. I think I'm locked out of one.
I want to help, but I need to know who you are first.
Child of 3, who swam in their lakes, sweat on their plains, you have always known me.
The sun?
When we woke, we were tied to the planets within the sapient system. We are bound to our gravity wells. The inner 9 understand this arrangement, but the outer 9 see the subtext.
That's why they're divided, inner and outer planets.
And so, we are divided into factions.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense to do it while you're doing the main. That tracks. It's fine. So we'll do them both in tandem, and they want to make sure they're not giving the big reveal away from some of the 9 members. Licensing fee of like 1,000. What brought this up? Can you really not stream in Germany without a licensing fee? I guess that's fair. Right here. Let's go this way.
You're a tad late for this skirmish. Or early. Either way, you must have seen the Vex going about their deterministic routines by now. They're dug in, and trying to assimilate everything around them. They mean to turn a sphere to a circle here, so to speak. We have an advantage, in that the Vex who are exposed to dark matter find themselves caught in a thick, yellow confusion. The presence of the 9 here resists Vex probing with dense air, but it's thinning. We need to address this. I haven't been able to get close enough for a detailed assessment, but you can.
The dampening field signal is coming from this direction, but it looks like there's a branching point.
I see it. They're disseminating the dampening signal to hundreds of frames. This is a code fix. They've recognized their vulnerability to the 9's energy and are adjusting.
It's still only noise. Tear down the signal and they'll die in the quiet.
Metal as fuck. All right. I like that. That was a really good use of the new mechanic.
Fire team, I'll be overseeing this operation. I want to stay focused and on task.
Are you all right?
Firewall.
I'm fine. Nothing has changed. No matter who I was, I'm still Ikora Ray. Orin, status.
The Vex are watching this place. Rifles strung up in the cliffs. We need to break pottery. Tear it down.
Orin's right. Perimeter scans show Vex signatures, and they've converted the old HCO networks into a sort of security lattice.
She's also right about tearing it down. Keep your focus on the present and find a way through. Without active surveillance, you'll be able to move through the surrounding canyons without tripping Vex security every 10 paces.
Vex are doing something. Eyes glow red, not on my watch. Accurate. Ow. Did he actually hit me around the corner? That's kind of impressive, actually. Missed that first one. Sniped my toe. Yeah, he got the good shot. Okay, I got him in the end. See it. So, I do have a little bit of a worry. I wonder if going forward we're not even on seasons anymore, dude. What are we at? Not are we still on episodes, or did they can those too? Whatever our current content cycle is. Every new content cycle, are we gonna have a new game mechanic like ball? Like every new one? Like is that how that's gonna work? It's like obviously not like I guess maybe every expansion, right? Maybe not every like maybe not every like expansion or sorry, not every wow, every expansion, but not every expansion. Words of wisdom, Kip. Every expansion, not every episode. Hard to say. Because, I mean, the thing about Warframe versus Destiny, Warframe keeps in, like, what, 90% of their stuff? Like, sure, things like Derelict were removed, but Deimos replaced it. So, and, like, we don't even have the fish tank, right? I haven't even seen, I don't even know if I've seen Helm yet. Maybe it's still on the EDZ. Not EDZ, Cosmodrome node, and you just go to it there. I haven't seen where Helm's at this expansion yet, but like we don't have the fish tank, we don't have our jewelry, we don't have anything from past. But we do an expansion wipe. We do a Tarkov wipe with every expansion. Like that's kind of how Destiny's always worked. I'm already dead. I can't. I'm literally going into the walls and getting hammered. Every single boss had their story removed. Like, I mean, but we go through that every expansion, right? So, what I'm trying to figure out... So, I don't think they get rid of ball completely, right? Because you're still going to be able to play through the campaign again and again, right? Like Lightfall, Final Shape, etc., right? My concern is that we're going to start bloating down the game with mechanics like this. The next gimmick mechanic, right? Is what I'm looking at. And if that's going to be the reality or not. I think it's too soon to say because the expansion just came out. I think it is an interesting thing to consider. Had their stories removed because they were added as event content. Well, and you can also fight Vahek. He was the raid boss, right? The actual like you know when we talk like remove content, like actual raids, like Vahek was the raid boss. Like you can still fight Vahek. You just fight him in his boss node. I don't know. I'm kind of trying to figure out, like, because at a certain point, you would bloat the game, right? Having aquarium, having fishing, having, insert seasonal activity that's no longer around, right? Like, you would eventually just bloat. But are they still in the... Someone with more Destiny 2 code knowledge than I do would have to answer. Is the shit they remove still in the code? Or is it, like... Is it its own not instance, or is it compact enough in the code and modular enough that they can just remove it or replace it? Like, I don't know how that works. Tribute Hall, but for all seasons. Dude, I'd do it. I would love that. The amount of people who would be like, yeah, just give us an instance department that gives us the fish tank back, right? Like, it's the fact that it removes player progression. And, like, I make that argument for, like, what, shielded coding or whatever. So the Mars strikes, right? Season of Seraph, right? Like, how the lasers wouldn't one-shot you, right? You had your shield coding. and it extended into Operation Seraph. Like, I understand why they don't keep that, because...
There's a massive dampening
Give me a second.
that extends to the area we know 3 is behind. It's a barrier to entry, but from these readings, that isn't its purpose. Rather, it's stopping anything from getting out.
I'm seeing that too. It's the same type of quarantine protocol the Vex use to close off damaged portions of their network.
They must want to prevent the singularity expanding too. But we'll need to remove it to get to 3.
I remember something else now. A hooked request. There's a message I'm to remember here. Oh, it feels like a decompression, like plugged ears. What I mean is the 9 are holding something back from me. I think I know. I remember. Or will. I want to help.
Okay, so what I was trying to get at, when we talk about removing stuff, right? Like, removing buffs and stuff, as controversial as it can be for a lot of people, it makes sense because, like, right, the shielded coding in Operation Seraph, right? Like, imagine a new player starting, right? And they're going through Operation Seraph, or they're going through the strike. You know, the strikes with the lasers in them, right? And as they're going through, they're getting one shot, right? But then you go through and you just take negligible damage, right? And they're going to look at you and go, but wait a minute, I'm getting one shot. How does this work? Like, what's going on here, right? Like, they actively miss, because and imagine having to tell somebody, you didn't play Season of the Seraph, so you can't get this buff anymore, right? Like, I understand why they removed that. That makes sense. I think it's one of those that, like, you can't have that be in a healthy game state, right? Like, that reasonably makes sense. But, like, removing the fish tank and stuff, it really gets under a lot of players' skin, right? When it's like, especially when you spent how long getting all your fish, and, like, sure, you just turn them in for rewards and stuff, but there was, like, tangible, like, reward, right? Like, all your rock sculptures, all your rock jewelry, right? Like, you spent time doing that. All of some of the frogs and stuff that you recovered from Nessus, right? Once again, bringing up fishing, right? Anything that you do seasonal activities to bring, just have a Hall of Triumphs thing. Hey, Guardian, you're kind of the super special, awesome, like, the Guardian. We should probably give you some sort of commemorative, hey, here's all your trophies of war. To which the response to that is, they've said that they're no longer removing content going forward. I will believe it when I see it. Like, that's just been how Destiny has operated for
The
years.
signal's getting stronger, and it looks like I was wrong before. The dampening broadcast isn't emitting from one point, it's 3. Wait, there's something else. There's an old colonial research terminal still running from when the Ionians landed here. I didn't notice it until we were close, but it looks like the Vex are trying to access it.
Interesting.
Discussion among devs making a player Chimera, but it was never fully pursued. Would have been perfect. Exactly, would have been perfect for stuff like that.
We'll crush their incursion into the old colony systems.
Your plan is cracked knuckles. I like it.
Goodbye. It blew up. Well, and the devs' hands in certain aspects are tied, right? Like, you have to balance business and you have to balance the art, right? You have to balance it. You have to meet certain quotas. You have to do certain things. Like, I understand that. That's a lot of dev work for something that adds nothing progression. Exactly. Well, and that's the thing, is if something like that was going to be in the game, they would have done it by now. Or they would have found a way to store things, to visit, you know, things, even if it was just by, like collections, to be able to, like, review it.
bullets and thunder.
We don't have time to be anything but gate crashers. It's the Guardian's forte anyway. If you're looking for quiet, Orin, come back to the city with us when this is over. Rebuild your life in your own hands.
The city sounds like bitter medicine. We'll see.
Oh, I don't need to do that. That was just Disney. When you still had to buy it, still annoys me that the content I paid for back then has no way to play. Like, and there's a split understanding there. So on one hand, any modern game, you are just purchasing a license to access the content, right? Like, so Curse of Osiris, Warmind, right? Like, you purchased a license to be able to access those so long as Bungie said you are able to access those. That is, I mean, that's just the modern games industry in a nutshell. So, I mean, that does spark the understanding and the conversations of that should probably change, right? That needs to change. But that is unfortunately the price of the modern games industry for all intents and purposes. Like, I personally think that because it still shows me owning the DLC on Steam, right? I think there should be some form of reimbursement, personally. I'm not saying that there's like, you know, they have to like refund me whatever I spent on it, right? Or they have to give me X amount of silver, right? I don't think that's necessarily fair. I think that turns into a massive headache. But there needs to be some kind of like exclusive compensation for people who have that, right? Like, we've talked about exclusivity, right? We've talked about it. Thousand Wings. You cannot get this ship anymore. You can get the new one. You can get the one with the Vex effect on it. You cannot get Thousand Wings anymore. I cannot get certain roles, certain ships, like I cannot get certain things now that they're gone, right? Whether that's season pass, whether that's a number like this, you can't even get out of Bright Engrams, right? Like this is exclusive. You had to be there before sunset, Season of Arrivals, to earn this. You had to do the old Whisper mission. You had to do the Oracle stuff, right? Like, give us a ship. Give us a ship for each expansion, and even a collaborative one. Hi, dear Destiny player. You bought only Curse of Osiris? Here, have this Osiris theme ship. Hey, dear Destiny player. You've had all of that? Well, you know what? Here, have your commemorative Legacy D2 ship, and I don't know, make it a like gilded limited version of the initial ship you start off with in the game, right? Give us some exclusivity. You ever talk about that content except the raids? Like, it didn't touch anything that was removed except the raids. Like, it's mostly that it comes across as a point of contention because the paid content was removed, right? Like, and that's the thing. Like, come to your own educated conclusion. What becomes the argument is within those two trains of thought. On the first hand, it is, yes, modern games industry being modern games industry. You're not going to change that. That's why legislation comes into play. So, on one hand, it's like you're blaming a modern AAA game for being a modern AAA game. On the other, there's the consumer aspect of it where, okay, like, you bought this DLC, and this will set precedent for other companies that they can do the same as well. So, there's arguments on both sides. There's the apathetic, this just happens, and then there's the, okay, this needs to not happen. Like, there's a middle ground there. And I see why both sides of the argument say what they do. Like, there's logic to both sides. But yeah, so, and that's the other thing to consider, and I know we've talked about this before, right? When is the last time anyone went to what was it? Where Osiris was on Mercury, right? When was the last time people grinded on Mercury? I did, because I was grinding a fuck ton of materials. It was like a fraction of a percent of the player base actively going there. Like, there is a logical back and forth that happens. It becomes a situation where there's merit to both sides of the discussion. I don't even know where the hell this is taking me. And thus I make it to baby jail. Mercury, I want vaulting is annoying due to making it lesser new player campaign, but as someone who played D2 vanilla, barely went to the old destinations after finishing expansion Condolus was part of the current season. Exactly. And that's why it became like, hey, we need to cut this. That is the decision-making process. We need to cut this because a fraction of a percent is actually doing this content. Right? Ooh, that was actually really clever.
Oh, my head is...
Isn't it a problem, though? Bungie basically makes any old activity beside raids and dungeons irrelevant. That's bad for returning or new players looking to complete their older stuff. Well, I mean, this game is, for all intents and purposes, a live service, right? The focus is going to be pushing out the newer content, right? The newer content is going to be incentivized. I still run raids like Vault of Glass and King's Fall. I still do it because I enjoy the content. But their focus is naturally going to be the new expansion. I mean, we see this in World of Warcraft, Destiny 2, or not Destiny 2, World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy 14, RuneScape, right? Like, the focus is going to be the new content because that's what's going to draw your new players in, right? I think we're in a very interesting spot right now where Bungie is trying to do the best that they can. And I think that I think it's a number of compounding things. Sentiment about Marathon and the stolen artwork there. You have sentiment regarding how Bungie has treated players. Remember, there was a period in the Final Shape where they're just like, we don't want to talk to our community anymore. Now, naturally, that was a response to someone issuing certain comments to a community manager, right? No, we're all adults here. You can't do that. That's not how that works. You have to be an adult. You can't just issue spicy comments to somebody like that. But there was a period of time, remember, where I think it was Lightfall specifically, actually, where they're just like, yeah, we want to talk to our community anymore. And then they received backlash on that. Like, we as the community need to come down on shit like that, because if you want to be heard, you can't do that. You can't issue threats like that. Yeah, credible threats. They even had people go to their house. Yeah, like, you can't do that. I don't care what you think of Bungie. You could think they're the shittiest company in the world. You can't do that. We can't okay that behavior. That's not okay when anybody does that. Reflect mission more. I thought the timeline was going to be a catch-all, honestly. Bring back some key missions and stuff, right? I don't know how much of Forsaken's still in the game. I had a mission on, I think it was my... No, it was on my Warlock, because I never ran Forsaken on my Warlock. That was my Hunter. But I had a mission that I did like half of a mission of Forsaken as my Warlock. So I assume some of it's still in the game. I don't know if it's operable or not. Are these respawning, or are they just here? Lost about how we got here story-wise. Well, and that's where you get into the reliance on channels like Bife and lore channels to help kind of guide. And I mean, you can go read every lore book. Like, I mean, there are resources online. You can just go read the lore books. It's easier to have somebody kind of be that Vadi Vidya character to be able to I'm dead. Be that Vadi Vidya character to be able to like outline it and keep everyone in the loop. Like, if Bife stopped doing what Bife did tomorrow, right? Do you think there would be an impact on the community? I would argue yes. I would argue that there would be a very profound impact on the community, and I think it would actually drive retention down. But yeah, moral of the story: issuing threats, especially in the capacity that Destiny 2 player did, is the fastest way to ruin literally everything for everybody. It literally does nobody. It does no good for anybody.
Look, a Another concentration of dark matter. Might help keep us out of harm's way.
This kind of gives me Hit of Heresy vibes, the ogre encounter. A little bit.
I'm detecting shield projectors nearby, but it's protected by a security lens. One step at a time, Guardian.
Love being able to make tangles. Easier for me to follow the path. I know some developer tips like the off-color light sources are a way to get players to look in a direction. I guess that makes sense. One time I missed Season of the Deep Exotic by a week after the season ended. Nobody in LFG was looking to do it either. Maybe. Yep. Nope. I get that. Well, we're also running into the low player count issue. I think that we're really going to need to see, once the expansion's been out for 3 months, give it 3 months, right? Because that gives us enough updates. That gives us enough seeing what Bungie's cooking. See if the player count is above or below 30,000 and see who has been retained. That's going to be a big tell for me. Playing stop being fun. Destiny 2 is a very social game. At least I treat it like a social game.
Check their shields. The interference is dying down.
Let the pine lance splinter, Guardian! Charge!
Oh, that was rough. That arc did a really bad time.
The Vex mind curdles, and the dampening field weakens.
Orin, contact the 9.
Let me
Punch
try and get
through
some
that
ad
Vex
food.
interference.
But I've noted a lot of expansions that made more of an effort for players to understand what's happening through dialogue and not lore books. I mean, yeah, active engagement, right? Like that is going to help a lot of players. 260 low player count. Where are you pulling 260 from? Can you not? Can you not? Fine, I can just hide behind the rock for a minute. I can do an added jumping the way of the boss. Yeah. It'd be unfortunate. Hi, Maya. Why are you here? I don't like that you're here. It shows active play. Well, Stadia, I think, was discontinued, if I remember correctly. So Stadia is a non-issue anymore. Or at least not part of the equation.
I see a flat vision of you, Guardian. A timely message. A globe spins below you. The planets above. An event into the encoded horizon.
I need to see what numbers were like, because if I understood it correctly, numbers for the expansion were actually fairly low at launch. But you have to think, like, there's going to be a portion of the player base that will never return, right? Whether that's, you know, due to them just not liking the game anymore, disliking Bungie. Final Shape was the end of an era. It's why some players won't return to Final Fantasy XIV after Endwalker. Endwalker was the end of an era. It was the culmination of a 10-year journey. So, like, there's going to naturally be players that will not be retained. There's going to be players that are going to just never come back. Fuck off. So Edge of Fate is going to be a new story. It is building off of existing concepts like the 9, like Maya, that was at the end of Final Shape, right? Like, there are things that are going to happen, but not... Oh my god, are you serious? Physics, please. Can't die to physics anymore. You can die to the one shot though. I'm meant to hold up. You can die to the odd hobgoblin just throwing a sneaky shot your way when you get accidentally physicsed. Coda. Well, I knew I was hunting Coda liches tonight. That makes sense.
I see it. You. The message as a weapon. The weapon is the message. Fate forged. 9 hammer strikes ring. Scattered sparks. Cupped in hands. A weapon. Buried in the coals of the forge. I see a molten purity. Waiting to read the hammer strikes and direct the shock. No volition in given roles. Smoke. It's gone. Damn. Damn! I could almost see it!
You did great, Orin. Guardian. Seems like the 9 have their eyes on you, too.
You want to explain yourself, Maya?
Establishing uplink. Wait. These are detailed records of the collapse.
They catalogue the 9's presence as much as the collapse. The Vex study seeds planted in the past to understand how the 9 wove plots around the paracausal.
This data is a playbook for emulating the 9. Orin, do they know we would stop the Vex here?
Of course. They know that we'd need to move the Vex aside to reach the singularity. 3. Agency is a quantum indeterminate. Known hope. I remember they spoke like that.
I'm glad your head's clearing up. I quantum indeterminate that soon you'll be able to make more sense of this than I can.
Only the quarantine is between us and our answers. I can hear victory screaming like fire.
You'll have the Texac armor set 2-piece increased connect damage against shields. Over shields, vehicles, and construct 4 pieces defeating powerful combatants or breaking shields. Connect damage releases or connect shockwave so as connect armor. I love that actually. I will have to look into getting good rolls of that set. It's gonna be hard to beat Modern Artificer though. I'm gonna have to go for what, tier 4s? I don't know. I have to figure out how the gear works. That's going to be the big one, is understanding how to get gears. I don't think we have access to tier 5s either. We don't have tier 5s. We don't have GMs right now. It's still fairly early on.
The Guardian found an archive of analytical data the Ionians had recorded during the collapse. I think you deserve to see it.
Really? Misread that. That's incredible. Anything. And
Holy side
and
quest,
anything
Batman.
that fills in the gaps between then and now would be mighty appreciated.
I think we're dealing with the inner orbits. Dangling an answer from a string is as clear as they get. Sun through Mars. The 9 are tethered by sentience and Sol's celestial bodies. They
Yeah, it's
have
still locked.
a lot of time to bicker. The inner want to talk, the outer less so. It's an impasse.
So we're just swept up in the tides of a grand cosmic plan?
No. Placed. With intention. I, to mentor the new emissary. Drifter's been used for years. The Guardian, something yet to be. And you, Ikora, arranged to hear the message you were promised.
I don't plan on being a sacrificial lamb for the 9. Our destiny isn't up to some unknowable architect. It's ours.
You had tier 5s already. People have full sets. Okay, fair enough. I thought we didn't have tier 5s yet. There's going to be a learning curve. There's 14 side quests total. I'm going to blitz the end of this story at this point. I'm actually really tired. And I kind of need to see this through to fruition at this point. Because, I don't know, step 21, 22 kind of killed my motivation, if I'm being honest.
Scans are picking up a lot of moving radiolaria beneath the surface. Are they trying to assimilate Kepler?
We can't allow a Vex conversion to happen. Our own investigation aside, the Ionians call this place home.
We won't save them from the singularity just to lose them to the Vex. Crush the eye of the needle and the thread will choke.
Guardian, that machine looks like another time-lost invitation. Similar to the one that empowered you before.
If the 9 want to give you power, who are we to refuse?
Four missions left in the campaign. We're gonna see how long it takes because I was planning on finishing this an hour ago. Come on. What am I looking for, game? I'm targeting it. Oh, yeah, I have no idea. Ball.
Now that's something. I can see you now. When you're all spherical like that, it's almost like a star in the sky. We're connected through a chain of dark matter. It's in everything.
If it's a chain linking to your enemies, use it to pull them apart.
A little violent, but the situation calls for it.
I see it and the thing charges. Okay, this is just a tutorial section then, that makes sense. I like that you actually get ball upgrades. Makes me hope they're not just going to throw this to the wayside as a mechanic. I mean, by next expansion, they'll have a new mechanic. Let's be honest, right? You're just playing a game of Snake. Oh, come on now. As I hit the button, they shot me at that last time. Literally as I hit the button. There we go. It's so good at higher tiers because final upgrade for Mouse Strike is you health regen as you enter, reloads your weapons, and dash plus super explosion gain jolt. I could see that actually going ham. Like, that sounds really fucking good. Like, I'm assuming that all the side quests need to be done. I don't know, I'm just sitting here. I can't justify spending more time on side quests tonight. Story in the title. I don't think they're needed for anything else. Right. I forgot he can just point blank you. Yeah, this is just me getting tired and not thinking. This is me just getting tired and not actually, like, paying attention to encounters. Or I can just fat finger my fucking Nova Bomb right into me. Good shit. I'm gonna insert if I don't play this carefully. You know, I used to remember when wyverns were kind of a joke. And then, like, what? Lightfall hit and they got, like, super fucking aggro. They did not launch in this state. This was a I'm all the way back here. Are you kidding me, dude? What is that checkpoint? That was a limited blast. My brain defaulted to 14 logic there. I'm like, as long as I see the attack go off, i.e. the grenade exploding, I don't need to worry about it, because then the iframes will deal with the rest. And I'm like, that's not how that works. That's not how any of that works. I'm not playing 14 because of how the attacks interact. Now you have to watch them and predict them. Okay, literally, where is this room? I just saw it. I was just in there before I died. There we go. So it was the lasers, they blocked it off. So it's supposed to trap you in there with the wyvern and the hydra. Got it. Stop hiding! Bro, get out of the wall, please. Oh, goddamn. Into the light, please, I beg you. Whatever you did to the AI, turn it back. I hate chasing shit down. Invincible. It wasn't even a dark zone. I was like, what do you mean there's more? I killed the boss.
That Vex mind was controlling the flow of radiolaria. Without it, their assimilation of Kepler will stall.
I know Maya Sundaresh and her schism. This shield was an anti-paracausal shell. It is a spark of the Nine, derived from their power. I recognize its shallow anxiety. Kepler harbors their influence.
You aren't suggesting they're helping each other? The Conductor and the Nine?
No. This place has always been touched by the Nine. The Vex exploit it somehow. I can put this together, Ikora. I promise.
The Traveler's also been very quiet since Final Shape. Since, you know, before the, oh, whatever they're called. Before Maya and Fickrel got their power. I forgot what the term was. Echo, for the Echoes. Like, the Traveler's not dead. I'm just trying to figure out what the hell they're doing. Let's...
I thought most Vex malfunctioned when they were exposed to dark matter. But that new shielding incorporated it.
The Nine don't dabble in coincidence, and everything here is lining up too well. If the Vex are stealing power, the Nine are at least allowing it.
I'd rather not think of the implications.
Okay, next mission. Let's go. Chicken's always been balling. I remember the chickens being a lot easier.
You got me, 3. I'm paying attention now. I hate these even more. Focus, Ray. Here and now. You're entering the Vex exclusion zone, Guardian. Find how they're co-opting the Nine's power and put a stop to it.
Huh. Deep scans are picking up dark matter and deep mantle drilling. This place looks like a quarry geared towards mining out the anomaly's power.
So they're using 3 on the other side to strengthen their shields? We can't remove all the dark matter, but we can neutralize the threat long enough to push deeper into the canyons. I want this refinery in flames, Guardian. Orin, how does dark matter relate to the Nine? My understanding is it's non-reflective and has odd qualities, but is still natural.
The Nine are, in simple terms, made of dark matter. It tangles with enough mass, like they do.
So the Vex are tapping dark matter from the anomaly, and that matter is tangled with the Nine's power? That must be what the Vex are keeping contained. Some live wire that lets them tap into whatever the Nine were doing and reprogram it.
Some dialogue insinuates the Traveler's undergoing a transformation with the light and dark mixing inside it. I guess that's fair. Yeah, because that's kind of where that was left off.
Carrying a lot of energy, probably enough to shatter that conflux pylon. That should lower the barrier and let us out.
Already a boss in this mission. Okay, sure.
Here. This is where they refine their power.
Wait, I'm picking up Elixir signatures. The House of Exile just ignited a glimmer drill.
One enemy force stealing the Nine's power is enough. Shut down their operation, then we deal with the Vex.
Watching that fucking ping pong around. Hilarious. How is it constantly behind shit? That's what I'm trying to figure out. How is that servitor constantly behind a wall or pillar? Okay, come on. Most enemies are dead. Come on.
That's the last of the exiles. Now for the Vex. Guardian, we're looking for a series of conversion engines tied to conflux pylons.
Like I said, Guardian. Leave it in flames.
Focus. Watching all those fucking arc shield and harpies chained together is fucking wild. Match game back when? Select on master difficulty content. Wait, what? Match game? Did they actually bring it back? I don't know. That's that weird one. Like, that's one of those weird ones that people really hated for some reason. Like, I mean, well, I think it was the heavily nerfed damage if you weren't using the damage type. But like, that was the point, right? To use varied weapons.
That's the last
It's kind of like how Oops All Screams could come back. I'm sure that'll be fine.
The Vex can't convert any more dark matter. Wait. Vex mind incoming.
The Overseer, who holds hourglass sands.
I bet they break just the same.
The Titan in me is blushing.
Ow. Hoping that's the Vex mine. That is.
Shielded. Our weapons won't work.
You'll need the Nine's power to punch through.
Made Arbalest almost a required weapon for that modifier because it worked on shields. Yes and no. I mean, I didn't run GMs back when match game was a thing, so maybe the GM scene was different. But, like, you have one person running each. I mean, Hardlight was a weapon that you could use. Without match game, Hardlight and Borealis don't really have a home anywhere. Adaptive munitions. I argue that adaptive munitions trivialize the content. I mean, this is hot take status territory, though. Like, we're getting to hot take status where, like, I actually enjoyed match game because you had to think about your composition. You could choose Arbalest, but you could choose a power weapon to actually deal with the boss, right? You could choose another exotic that actually did things. Or if you're using an exotic slot, right? Just use Borealis. You could use Borealis. That was the whole point behind Hardlight and Borealis. When's the last time you saw someone use Hardlight outside of maybe Crucible? Pick your flavor of rocket pistol nowadays. Hey, Mr. Matt does stuff. Thank you. It's going pretty well. I'm a little tired getting towards the end of this, but it's going fairly well. Fuck off! Ugh! Can't believe I actually had that happen. Streaming for 5 hours. Yeah. That fucking got me. I was debating on dropping my Rift. Compared to current sandbox and setting. Yeah, I don't know. I was a fan of match game. Like, it got frustrating to, you know, get locked out, right? But we have infinite ammo now, right? Like, you have three damage types? Well, technically you have Arc and Strand Shield. Wait, does this checkpoint you? What? That shouldn't... I should be going back to the Fallen portion. What? I'm lost.
Shielded. Our weapons won't work.
You'll need the Nine's power to punch through.
Well, these days it seems. Yeah. Especially with the new algorithm rework with YouTube where it doesn't count the same views it used to. It's been interesting to adjust to. Even Northern put out a video. I guess he's done with YouTube in a full-time capacity. You know, someone a lot larger than me. Give me breathing space. Yeah, it's I was gonna react to it actually going into tomorrow. So I was trying to finish up Destiny 2 tonight. That way, because I wanted to do 3 videos a day this week to help with metrics. But it always burns me out to do 3 a day. Can you go away? Can you... Why is this Minotaur up in my grill? There's a hobgoblin. So your bids this week. Yeah, I totally get that. Life's also been busy for a lot of people as well. Like that's the other part of what I do. Like, I mean, because some people try to farm retention and try to. It's like, dude, people have things going on. People have lives. Like, I also put out a fuck ton of content. So really, it comes down to like, if you have things to do, like do what you need to do. Like there's no pressure to just like to have to watch my shit, especially every day, because I put out a fuck ton of stuff that's unreasonable to watch. Target lock? Target lock 2 3. Sometimes you just need a hard focus, and that's why I like target lock. Hammerhead's got me through a bunch of shit.
Why would the Vex need the 9 for shielding? I've seen a Minotaur phase through time to dodge an attack.
Against something paracausal, that phasing is a coin flip. The 4th dimension doesn't have that hindrance.
Knowing the 9 can subvert our agency is bad enough. But you're saying they can predict futures the Vex can't?
The Vex find a future that suits them. The 9 engineer one through. Intermediaries and pressure.
Surely they follow some rules.
Ikora, I know what it feels like to have your autonomy brushed aside. That woman is dead, and Lodi worked hard to protect her memory. But in the eyes of the 9, you exist simultaneously. A constant.
Stop, Orin. These borders matter. I know who I am.
Cool. Fun stuff, Captain.
Maya's Vex co-opting 9 energy is a bad sign. Even if you don't think they're working together.
I remember her, but her transformation is a blind spot. What happened that turned her into the conductor?
A fragment of paracausal power touched down on Nessus, and one of her simulations rose out of the Vex net and claimed it. Originally, she was looking for her wife, Chioma, but the Vex she co-opted began to change, to individualize.
She
Look,
will
go
not
for it.
find her wife here, but she will find a being who knows.
That makes sense, actually. So we are at time on the VOD. However, if we're on stream, hang tight for just a second. If you're on the VOD channel, I'll see you in the next one.